Okay, spoiler warning. If you have not seen the latest episode of The Flash, you may not want to watch this video because you know what happens when these fingers disappear. That means I'm about to fuck it up for you guys. Alright, I'm about to jump to the ending. Now, okay, Zoom's identity is revealed. I did not expect that to happen in this episode. I thought we were going to wait until like near the end of the season, like maybe near like one of the final 3 episodes or the episode before the finale or something like that. But no, we know who he is in this episode. But it, even though that answer has been, you know, the answer has been unfolded, it just dropped all other unfolded shit on us, like just by doing that. Because you see that Zoom goes back to his lair. He drops Jay Garrick right at his feet, and then the man in the metal mask is all looking. He's terrified. He's pissing his pants, like just looking at Zoom, like, you know, and Jay Garrick laying there dead or unconscious or whatever, and he's like, and then Zoom just comes in. He's right there. He takes off his mask, and then you see that it's Jay Garrick. Like, what? And he just took the words right out of my mouth when he went like this, like, well, this is a complication. Yeah, it is. Like, we're like, what the fuck? I mean, some fans are thinking, oh, it's Hunter Zolomon, from Earth 1 when he saw his doppelganger in the glasses. Yeah, I don't think so. And some people are thinking that Hunter Zolomon is the guy in the metal mask. I mean, that would make more sense because he seems like a harmless guy who just wants to read his book and whatever and read some H.G. Wells novel or something like that. You know what I mean? But holy shit! I mean, I'm just gonna give myself a serious migraine. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need lots and lots of aspirin. Trying to figure out how this came to be. And they're gonna make us wait like basically a month, like a whole freaking month, to try to figure out how this is true. I mean, like, is he from Earth 3? Is Zoom even really from Earth 2? Like, what? I mean, according to Harrison Wells and Jay Garrick, I mean that he is, and then the Parker Accelerator turned him in who he is on Earth 2. So I mean, like, where does that leave Jay Garrick? The one that we come to know, the one who presented himself as Jay Garrick, and he's the Flash in his world. You know what I mean? Like, let me know in the comment section. What are your theories on this, on Zoom's identity and Jay Garrick's identity and etc. And the man with the metal mask? Let me know your thoughts. Now, but in this episode, we get to see more of King Shark, even though we only had like a small cameo of him, like when they first saw him in an earlier episode. I think it was episode 3 or 4 or something like that. It was somewhere around there. And when I first saw him, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who he was at first. I'm like, what? Is Street, Street Shark's gonna cross over? But I did my homework after that. I'm like, oh, okay. So he is a villain from in the comics, okay. And just like Wally West said, it's funny, so you mean to tell me it gets much weirder than a talking shark wearing pants? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it looks like Street Shark to me. I mean, like, I mean, if those of you who are 80s babies or 90s kids, you know what I'm talking about. And but I will say that the special effects, done on King Shark is phenomenal. I mean, like, for that to be on a TV show and not some big Hollywood blockbuster movie, I mean, that's very impressive. Very impressive. I mean, that is, wow. And sometimes, like, when he's working in the dark, I mean, it's a good thing they don't have him out. They don't have King Shark out during the day, because that would just, like, take the, wait, you know what? They did have him out during the day, like, once, but they kept him in the majority of the time at night. And he seems much more scarier, in my opinion, that way. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, they're, the whole Earth 2 thing, like the whole journey to Earth 2 from the last two episodes, that left a lot of characters damaged. A few of them more damaged than others. Not to mention Barry and Caitlin. Barry, because of all the shit that he was forced to live through when he was over there, seeing his father figure in of Earth 2, and the woman that he's had a crush on his whole almost his whole life, in Earth 2, like seeing that they're together and his mom's alive. I mean that's a lot to take in. That is a lot to take in. Just to see that, my mom's alive, and the man that raised you, like ever since, just dies because of because of your actions, and they know that you're not supposed to be there, and it has consequences and repercussions. Yeah, I dare say that this time traveling in this show alone is way better writing than what they did in Heroes Reborn. Yeah, I said it. I mean, like, I mean, there's some shit that I forgot, and some shit I couldn't quite put together right away, and some people got mad at me about that. Like when I did my review on it. But I don't give a shit. I mean, not everyone's gonna follow along like you have. Okay, like shit. Back to the Flash. Now, it's pretty cool how Barry Allen and Wally West finally get scenes together. You know what I mean? Where they actually are interacting with each other. Even and it's like during impeccable timing too. I mean, like, because Barry's still traumatized from what he went through in Earth 2 and losing Jay Garrick, and like that's affecting. I mean, that's really hitting him and Caitlin like really, really hard. And like that's the plan. Like they all made a they both all three of them, Cisco, him, and Harry, Wells. They all agreed that they would not say anything to them about their Earth 2 counterparts, and that's all Barry can think about when you see him trying to have a normal fun day, but with the West family, and it just isn't working. I mean, like he's still stuck. He's still back in that cell. He's still back in that lair, or he's you know what I mean. He's still back in Earth 2. Seeing all of that happening. I mean, he cannot get that out of his head. And I can see why Wally, came at him the way he did, when he's trying to help him, on a, little project, like with mechanic project or whatnot. And at the same time, I can see, we all see why Barry is sort of being, I guess, detached or closing himself off to people. And but Wally went way out of line when after King Shark attacked the house and he left, and everyone is just getting back together or whatever, and he comes downstairs and then he talks down on him bad. Like, what? He's like, oh, would you go hide under your bed? I mean, I know you don't walk on water or nothing, but they never mention how much of a coward you are. I'm like, what? Yeah, you know what, Wally? You have a good point. I mean, a talking shark who's like what, over 10 feet tall? I mean, like, yeah, Barry's such a pussy. Barry's a fucking pussy. Like, what the hell? I mean, like, I mean, that's like, I don't know. That's just like way out of line for me. But I don't know. And another thing that's interesting is that Joe never told Wally that what Barry went through as a child. Losing his mother and losing his father. And being locked away for her murder and whatnot. I mean, like, and how they had to take they took him in as their own, and they welcomed him to the family like ever since. And okay. Maybe he thought that wasn't his story to tell. That wasn't for him to say, and it was for Barry to tell him. Maybe, but I mean, like in some other way on the other side of the coin, it would have been, um, it would have made more sense, like saying like, well, go easy on him, he lost his mom at a very young age, and that can do some serious damage to a child. I mean, ask Bruce Wayne, seriously, I'm not joking. Ask him, and he lost both his parents right in front of him. But this episode was pretty decent. It was pretty cool. We got to see Diggle, the Diggles, and they come to help him out, and they're cleaning up Amanda Waller's mess. They were gonna Argus was gonna weaponize King Shark and whatnot, and and they have him in the aquarium. Aquarium. I couldn't resist. And it's funny how, like, Diggle is used to all this stuff going on, but when it comes to the Flash alone, he's all freaking out, like, man, he can run fast. I don't know about that. And then Lila's like, oh, get over it. And then at the end of the episode, when they say goodbye to him, and she said, you know what, that is pretty freaky. That is so funny. Yeah, man. I mean, I have a slight prediction on how the Flash will cross over with Supergirl. Let's say he does try to open up the the breaches again, and then he goes to the wrong one. Getting all caught up and all reckless and getting carried away. I'm gonna go after Zoom, and then I'm gonna do it for Jay. Da, 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 da. And then he goes to the breach, and then he jumps to the wrong one, and then he's like, "Where am I?" I mean, that could happen. I mean, the Flash isn't coming back till around the same time that the Supergirl / Flash episode airs. Around that same time. I mean, close to it, you know what I mean? So, I am looking forward to that. If there's anything I've failed to mention in this episode, feel free to tell me in the comment section. This episode gets 8 out of 1 to 10. It's a cool down episode. I mean, a lot of people needed to be cooled down, from what happened in that 2-part episodes, those two, that 2-parter. But, yeah, I mean, Caitlin is, poor girl. I mean, I heard that in an article that we are going to see Killer Frost again. Maybe she'll jump over to Earth 1. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I don't want Earth 1 Caitlin to turn to Killer Frost, because she's a very sweet, kind, loving woman. I don't want that. I don't want her to jump out of that. I don't want that to change. Let Earth 1 Caitlin, stay the way she is, and let Earth 2 Caitlin, oh, sorry, Killer Frost, stay the same. Okay, there you go. But, back to the Wally and Barry and Wally thing for a bit. You can sense that there was jealousy even before Wally addressed it to Barry in a way. And I think that all changes when Joe tells him, what happened to him as a child. I think that he'll be more respectful towards Barry, with that all being said. And I think Wally's gonna be the Roy Harper to Barry's Oliver Queen. You know what I mean? That's gonna be, his Roy Harper. You know what I mean? I mean, since they're gonna be in the same footsteps at some point. Like Wally's gonna get some powers, and that probably won't happen till like near the end of the season, and then that'll be like season 3, like Barry mentoring Wally, and into being a speedster. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So that'll be something to look forward to. So yeah, I mean, like I said, leave your comments on the episode and the ending, with Zoom's identity finally revealed. And if you enjoyed my review, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe. And Also, I will leave the link in the description for my reaction video that I did to the episode. So click on it, go check it out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.